Hello, everyone, and welcome back to A Cup of Joe. It's your boy, JonahThing, and here we go again. We're back at it at, whatever it's called. Secret Kiss. Alright, picking up right where we left off. I opened the door slightly and peeked into the room. She was working towards the desk, and looked occupied with her work. She was moving her hands busily. Since she was wearing headphones, she hadn't noticed that I had knocked on the door. She seemed to be focusing on something. After hesitating for a moment, I called out to her again. "Miss Sierzawa, a package came for you?" "Ah!" In her hands I saw an LCD tab, and on the screen was a new illustration. I raised my voice without thinking. Whoa. Was she drawing? Just then she seemed to be in the middle of coloring, with many layers opened. Awesome. I was seeing a master at work. "Ah, Konami. What's up?" Miss Sierzawa finally noticed me standing there and took off her headphones. As she looked at me curiously, I came to my senses. Sorry. Excuse me. Why are you speaking so firmly? Why are you speaking so formally? Because I came into your room without asking, and seeing Ima's drawings. Miss Izuho, please calm down a little. She stood up and came over to me. Oh, God. Uh-oh. Miss Sierzawa. Oh, not her, but Ima was approaching. I couldn't stay calm. Well, you know, Did you need something? Oh, yes. Here it is. I held out the package I had in my hands. She looked at the small cardboard box. You took the trouble to bring it to me? Thank you so much. She took the box from my hands and checked the delivery slip glued onto the box. I ordered this online. Thank God it came so quickly. Putting the box down on the desk, she suddenly looked back at me. "Konami, it'll take a little while to finish this illustration." "Huh? When it's done, I'll post it, so look out for it." Yes." She put her headphones on again with a smile. I didn't want to interrupt her drawing. I had to leave immediately. Soon after I checked to see what she had begun to draw again, I left her room. Then, several hours later, I can't wait. Still not up yet. Still? Even after getting into bed, I kept checking Twitter persistently. I kept checking, but she still hadn't uploaded her new drawing yet. Is she still working on it? It was already past midnight. I was dying to see it. If I was told to wait, I would wait forever. But I just worried whether it was okay for her to be staying up so late. Seeing no further charges on her profile, I closed my phone and breathed out a little. I hoped she wasn't pushing herself too hard. Before I knew it, I had started dozing off, when there was a sudden knock at the door. I woke up. "Konami, are you still awake?" When I heard Miss Sierra's voice, I jumped off the bed and opened the door right away. Sierra? What's wrong? I'm a little tired, so I want to take a break. I don't mind, but actually, maybe it'd be better if you went to bed. That's true. I'll do that then, she said. She then walked into my room and climbed onto the bed I had been in until just before. Huh? What? Miss Sierra, what are you... Taking a break? Don't stay over there. Come over here. Over here? Wait, that means sleeping in the same bed with her? Not knowing what to do, I froze. Looking at me, she blinked her big eyes. If we take a break together, I think I'll be able to finish it properly. Huh? What did she just say? She'll finish it? If she took a break with me? Oh, really? Yes, but I'm having a hard time finishing it. Just for a little while. Can you relax with me? As she spoke, I was at a loss as to what to do. I didn't want her to push herself too hard, especially so late at night. It was best that she got some rest. I was also a little sleepy. More than anything else, I wanted her to finish her illustration, but getting in bed together was unrelated to that. Surely. Oh, well, this is for her sake. As I told myself so, she stared at me. Then I moved to the bed as if I were drawn in by her big eyes. Excuse me. When I got into bed, I heard a little squeak of a spring, seemingly struggling under the weight of two people. I laid down with my back to her, trying to touch as little as possible. And then she spoke. Konami, look over here, please. Konami, please. In response, I turned sideways, slowly. In the faint light, our eyes met. She was closer than I had thought. We looked at each other from a close distance. I felt embarrassed because it seemed like the moment right before kissing. Hold on, I was only thinking about bad things. What's wrong? You aren't going to say anything? As she stared at me with a wondering look, I suddenly spoke up. Well, you know. Oh, yes. Is there anything you want to eat? Not particularly. I'm okay with whatever you like. I figured I might as well make your favorite food. Hearing that, she blinked her eyes repeatedly. Well, if you cook, that's enough for me. You may be right, but this time, please tell me. After thinking a little while, she told me in a small voice, I'd like to have beef stew. Huh? What? You like beef stew? She nodded in affirmation. It was so cute that I broke into a smile. Konami, why are you smiling? Huh? Well, I also like beef stew, so I'm happy to hear that. The beef stew I had cooked was very popular with my younger brothers, so I often made it. I hoped she would like it. If you made it, I would really appreciate it. Count on me. I'll make a delicious stew. It was already late at night, but we had a lively conversation anyway. Well, it was getting to be time for us to go to sleep. Besides, she had to finish her drawing. I remembered how she said she would finish it shortly. How long would it take? I mustered the courage to ask her about it. Hey, Miss Sierrazawa, how's the drawing going? Do you know about shadowing and highlighting? Yes, I was familiar with it. You have to add highlights or shadows onto the hair or pupils. I nodded my head empathetically. It takes a lot of time, doesn't it? Perhaps. It depends on the person. Maybe it takes a bit more time for me as I care about the small details. After that's over, I'll paint a simple scenery, then make minor adjustments. So, it might take me about 3 hours. So I can expect to see your divine illustration in 3 hours? Wow, I'm excited. Oh, but that's only if I can draw smoothly, right? When I lose my concentration, it takes time till I feel up to it. What do you do when that happens? I recharge myself by relaxing. With that, she extended her hand and touched my cheek. Huh? What? Miss Sierrazawa? Please call me Emma. In the pale moonlight, she let out a slight giggle. Oh, well, but you can help me out, can't you? Help her out. Calling her by her first name would help her? Well, well, Emma. I can't hear you. Emma. I felt a heat flooding my face. I just called her by her first name. Just doing it really made me so embarrassed. Well done. After rubbing my cheek, she was taking her hands away slowly. At school, you can call me by my family name, but when it's just you and me, call me just like that. Oh, all right. Miss Sierrazawa. Oh, no. Emma looked satisfied with and smiled. When I touch you or talk to you like this, I feel calm. As for me, my heart was pounding the whole time. If this would be helpful for Emma, it would be fine. Who cared? I got a little sleepy. Suddenly, I heard her yawn. Hey, you're tired, aren't you? Why don't we go to sleep now? After saying that, I closed my eyes. Then I started to feel a bit drowsy. Alright. Good night. And that was it. Facing each other, Emma and I fell asleep before we knew it. The next morning, though my eyelids were still heavy, I opened my eyes and looked around vaguely. That reminded me that I stayed up late last night, and then Emma came into my room. And then... Emma? Emma, who had been sleeping next to me, was gone. Without me noticing, she must have gone back to her room. I reached out to grab my smartphone from under my pillow. Oh, no way. What immediately captured my attention was Emma's latest updated illustration. And as Emma had told me the night before, she had finished updating. While looking at the screen, I saw a comment. Thank you for waiting. After taking a break, I was able to finish it. Huh? Oh, it's Emma. I was so happy. I was too happy. I was glad to see the newly updated illustration, and, above all, the comment only I could understand. That day, from the morning on, I would be so happy. Besides, if Emma was able to sleep well by sleeping together, that would be fine. But it was a little embarrassing. Well, actually, not a little, but very embarrassing. While looking at the screen intently, I suddenly noticed the time. Oh no. Oh God. I also overslept a little. I was 15 minutes later than I usually got up. Holding my smartphone, I left the room to take a bath. Ah, man. Emma's illustration is awesome. I knew that I had less time than usual, but I still used my phone through a sealed plastic bag while taking a bath. This illustration is so cute. A girl wearing fashionable clothes was smiling through the screen. Partly thanks to the illustration, I felt the bath several times more comfortable than usual. Emma really is amazing. The previous night, when I had seen it in Emma's room, she was still in the middle of coloring. But as she said she would, Emma finished her illustration properly. Leaving that aside, when did she get up? While I was sleeping, she had gotten up and returned to her room, then continued to draw. I wonder if she got enough sleep. Enlarging the illustration, I kept thinking about those things. Suddenly, I heard a small noise from the dressing room. I immediately realized that Emma had entered the dressing room. Could it be that she's also going to take a bath? I tried to sit up straight in the bathtub. I glanced at the door. I could hear something faintly, but the door did not look like it was going to open. And then, after a while, Emma left. Huh? What happened? I had thought for sure that she would get into the bath with me. It was a bit of a letdown. Oh my. It seems like I'm disappointed, aren't I? I shook my head in amazement and looked at the screen of my phone again. It was just before 7 o'clock. It was about time to get out of the bath and prepare for breakfast. I got out of the bath, taking care of my smartphone not to get wet. I dried myself with a towel and then looked for my change of clothes. I just stood there. I can't believe it. The underwear I had left there was gone. Instead, I found very sexy underwear there. This must be absolutely the work of Emma. Just a moment earlier, she had come into the dressing room in order to switch out this underwear. But why would she? Find out next time on Cup of Joe. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you around. Bye.